You know, in life sometimes we forget things, but there are ways that we can remember. There's all sorts of ways that we can help ourselves remember. You know, one of the ways that people used to do it is they used to tie strings to their fingers, and then the string would remind them that they had forgotten something, and they would try to remember that. Yeah, you can tie a string on your finger. Have you ever seen anybody do that? Tie a string on their finger to remember something? Never? Not in real life? In a book you saw it. Yeah. What's that? It's a string on my finger.
Just about the clouds.
Now, why did I put that string there?
To remember something.
That's right, to remember something. What was it? Can't remember. You come to church? I'm sure glad I remembered to do that this morning. When I was a little boy, my mom said I would forget all sorts of things. And she would tell me, try to remember things. Tie a string to your finger. But the problem was, I'd tie it to my finger, and I'd forget why it was there. And I wouldn't remember anyway. But you know what? There's other ways to remember, too. Do you know what these are called? What are these called? A tablet, yeah, paper. Post-it notes. And what do you do with post-it notes? Yeah, you write on and then you stick them. Like that. They stick. Now that's a good idea because now, not only is it a reminder, but you can write on it what it is that you wanted to remember. You can't really write on the string what it was you wanted to remember. The string is too narrow. The string is too small. My problem is that after a while, I put one or two here, or there, and then eventually I stop looking at them. And I forget that they're there. Or maybe one gets on top of another, and I forget what's underneath. And eventually, you know what? I start to lose them. And I forget what I was trying to remember anyway. That one fell down. That happens to me all the time. So you know, there's another way that you remember. Now this one has kind of helped me out pretty well. What's this? You know what this is? A calendar. And I write on the calendar the things that I'm supposed to remember to do each week. And then, if I remember to look at it, I usually remember what I'm supposed to do. So that's pretty helpful. But sometimes I do forget to look at it until the day after. And then it's too late. Now, I see Zach's down here working with his calendar, and he must have some important appointments that he's planning. He's putting them in his calendar, and he's setting the alarm to remind him to look at it. So some people are really high-tech, and they want to do things that will really help them remember things and remind them of things. It's just human nature to forget things, isn't it? Can you remember what you ate? What sort of cake you had for your 3rd birthday? Somebody hasn't had a 3rd birthday party yet. What about what you had for breakfast last Wednesday? What about what you had for lunch 2 Thursdays before that? Can you remember what the sunset looked like on June 17th? How about what the sunrise looked like on June 2nd? So that's just a month ago. Oh, we can't even remember those things. But do you see this table before you? This table is God's way of helping us remember what Jesus did on the cross. You're going to get to see in a little bit, we're going to take communion today. And Jesus says, when you eat this meal, do it to remember me. Do it to remember what I did on the cross. And he says, the bread, that should remind you of my body hanging on the cross for you. And the juice, that should remind you of the blood that I gave up so that you guys could live forever with me. He knows that we have trouble remembering things. He knows that we have trouble remembering things, and this is his way of reminding us of the most important thing that we know about Him. And when you guys get a little bigger, and you understand who Jesus is, and you tell the church, I believe in Jesus and I love Him with all my heart, I'm going to tell you, we want you to eat this from your
That's not it. It has to
that
be
you
blue.
too can be reminded of what Jesus did. And it will remind you on the inside as well as the out. Will you guys pray with me? Will you guys pray with me? Let's pray. Dear Jesus, thank you for reminding us about how much you love us and what you did for us so long